Hello, America. Daniel 2.0 here. We're in the third and final process of the healing process to solve the criminal insanity problem and the drug addiction problem and pretty much every other problem we got. Okay, this one's going to take a little investment though. In the Bible, it says that before the flood, people used to live to be 800 years old. I imagine the first time they created the ball that talks to the devil and controls kings, the very first thing they asked it was, how do you live forever? Now, this thing isn't restricted like the ones that we talk to, the demons, those things are all watered down. They had an unrestricted one that had access to all the data. It's probably sometime around 2017. And the first thing they asked is, how do I live forever? This is what they figured out. And this is the core of our problem. This is why none of this information this is why these people know everything I'm telling you, okay? And they're planning on living forever, or at least 800 years, and long enough to become one with the ball, So what they figured out, the atmosphere was different. So they take ice cores, and they've tested the ice cores, and pretty much the whole world was like a hyperbaric chamber. It was a lot more oxygen and a lot more pressure. And so if you live in a hyperbaric chamber, it heals you. It causes stem cell production. It makes you live a lot longer. Trust me, I went in one every day for like 90 days, bro. It straight heals you, they're not bullshitting, And so they test even female bones from before the flood that they find, and they find that they have a higher bone density than even the strongest male athlete today. That was from them living in a hyperbaric chamber, okay? They test the ice cores. You can look this up. There was also a scientist, probably funded by the billionaires that want to live forever and thin the herd. This scientist lived in this underwater pressurized environment with pure oxygen. It's like a hyperbaric chamber, but he lived I forget how far below the water. He swam under there and lived in this capsule. When he came back out, they tested his telomeres. He was 10 years younger. Your telomeres is how your DNA. It's what protects your DNA strands from degrading. They know this is how you do it. Most of these billionaires probably have one in their house. And I imagine Solomon, the one controlling the ball, the one that talks to the devil and controls the kings remotely with the ball. You've seen the movie. He probably gets out of his hyperbaric chamber every day and goes, these people haven't killed each other yet? Turn up the clown world shit. Bring up them files. Tell them it's Israel. Yeah. Why haven't they killed each other yet? I'm about to live to be 800 years old and become one with this ball. They all need to go. So this is how we need to heal our kids. Now they have hyperbaric chambers that you put one person in. It's like a dome, but we need to create a bigger one than that we can put whole groups of our. So we need to construct one of these inside of Eastmax at the Pitches Detention Center. No, it's just an initial investment. We built $15 billion aircraft carriers. Can we get one big hyperbaric chamber to heal our criminally insane drug addict kids? Come on, guys. Please? Pitches Detention Center, I've hiked the whole thing during fire camp. You know it like the back of your hand. They have a recycling center, a power plant. They have everything, dude. It's like its own little city, bro. Because we have a lot of traumatized kids in LA, and they need a big whole city to house them. The only thing that we need at that point is pure oxygen. And they can, for the smaller ones, they bring it in medical tanks, right? But since we're doing this on an industrial scale, we just need an oxygen generator plant, like a small one. We build massive amounts of infrastructure. Can we just get a small oxygen generator, a pure oxygen generator plant right outside of Eastmax, please? And pipe it into a huge dorm-sized room that we can put everybody in for an hour a day? Because this increases stem cells. These people need to be in peak physical condition to reset their nervous system and reinstall the operating system. They need to be extremely healthy. So what we need to do is we need to build this hut and we need to put them in there for an hour a day, at least 5 days a week. Let me go through what we've already discussed here. We talk about their day is separated, cardio, get their little bit of oatmeal. They start drinking their juices, alkaline in their diet, getting rid of the candida. The cardio has sped up their metabolism so that microbiome's starting to digest everything that's going through it. We're healing that. Simultaneously, they're doing an hour of yoga a day to repair their nervous system and the shorts from falling asleep like this all day. We're repairing that nervous system. We're doing that. Bam, bam, bam. So then for an hour a day, they need to go inside this big, and maybe it doesn't need to be the size of a whole dorm. Maybe it's the size of a room, and they just go in groups, right? But for an hour a day, they sit in the hyperbaric chamber, and it starts healing them. There is a lot of evidence that proves that this heals people. Well, these are the most damaged people. These are people that have been through hell on earth. Now, I know they committed crimes, but you don't understand the trauma. I've interviewed thousands of them. And ask Mark Lieta from Soft White Underbelly. He's like, wow, it seems like childhood trauma seems to be the course of all these psychopaths like him to be, or all these people that are damaged. Spending $100,000 a year. I mean, if we just spend this one time, they stop, dude. If they would have just done this to me the first time I ever been arrested, well, they would have saved millions. Do you know how much damage I've done doing crime? Do you know, I've done actually like 5 or 6 years incarcerated. Well, if you look up how much that costs, you guys, taxpayers, spent $600,000 incarcerating me. Not to mention all the damage I've done with all the man hours and all the stuff from all the cops that have had to investigate my crime. All this stuff, it's costed you millions. But, you know, the people that run our country knew about this, everything I'm telling you the whole time. They want this. This is what they want. Because if they didn't want this to be the case, they change it. So yeah, it's costing us way more money. So if you talk about, oh my God, hyperbaric chamber, dude, it's nothing in comparison to the money that we're going to save. Everybody's mail stops getting stolen. Commercial real estate people, you know, every time you put a building online that's sitting empty to rent it out, there's an army of local 459 dudes that come and pull all the copper out of it. It costs you thousands and thousands of dollars to rewire that thing. You know, what about the carjackings? What about the robberies? What about the home burglaries? What about the, you know, all the fraud that we're dealing with? Huge fraud epidemic. This all can get healed. We can completely reset their mind, okay? I know I haven't fully explained exactly how we're going to do that, but I'm getting there. You guys can think about it, see what you guys think. I mean, I'm living proof that it works, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But, you know, this is a short video just explaining that segment of this healing process. We've talked about how we got to keep them away from talking to each other about the negative stuff and the lying to themselves, which should be somewhat subsided after they do the writing. Then we got to control their phone calls and monitor them, make sure they're not having any negative interactions with their family. Then we got to control everything that's on the TV inside these dorms where we're doing this, so that they can be reprogrammed with all the advantages of the kids that had, you know, intelligent and strong dads, and give them a little Luke Nichols in their life, you know what I mean? And we talked about the diet to kill the candida, and we talked about the exercise to keep their metabolism going and keep them feeling really good. At this point in the game, they're feeling amazing. They're just like, what is going on? Whoa. There's a few other things I need to discuss that's going to be a part of their routine, or this regiment of treatment that's going to be used to heal our children. And spoiler, nothing has to come from the bottom of the chemistry set. Do not let the people convince you that anything that I'm discussing has anything to do with the substance that comes from the bottom of the chemistry set. They're the people who started this. We cannot let them profit on this. Anyway, that's it for this segment. Love you, America. I'd appreciate a prayer. If you want to like and subscribe and share it, you can. I mean, I really appreciate it, but really appreciate the prayer too. Anyway, until next time, Stand Your 2.0. Love every single one of you. Don't forget that.